Hello, fellow pirates, and welcome back to Dreadlock Gaming. Today I'm going to bring you probably my final version of the Garuda. I'm using this for everything right now. The new Christmas event Convoy, Boss, level 16 Vikram, Wolf, level 13 Vikram, the Sea Monster, everything. We've got a Convoy coming up. Let's do it real quick. I can show you what it does, and then I'll show you the build after the Convoy. We got 25 seconds left before it starts. If you wanted to run this PvP, I would do one change, one item. That's the armor. I solo, no death, the level 16 Vikram. I've soloed the level 13 Vikram, the Sea Monster, the Wolf. No way to show this soloing the convoys or the Christmas boss because everybody is trying to get this gun and furniture. Let's get food and let's just go to town. Once the shields on the Christmas stuff has been dropped, any kind of damage will do. So as long as they're using that fire to drop the shield, and you can use Divine Thunders, anything else you want. This is a glass cannon build. It's built to put out as much damage as possible. The Nashkar long gun and the high velocity kegs do not drop from the convoy chest. They only drop from the boss chest. But you can farm the currency so that you can buy as you get from the Christmas store. The little Azure pedestal thingy. It's a great build. This build that I'm going to show you is exactly what I soloed the level 16 Vikram with. Let's get back to port real quick and I'll show you the build. Alright. Let's take a look at the build. Now, it is the Garuda, so it is a DPS ship, specialized aggressive playstyle. Has a dead eye. Further you are away, the more damage you do, up to 80% more damage. Piercing weapons deal 20% more damage. When you're at whole health, below 40% or lower, it increases your armor by 1,000. Trimming doesn't cost anything for 10 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. Then you have revolver. Increases weapon damage by 30% when hitting a target with punctured. Long guns no longer are top deck only. So you have 6 of them on the front of the ship, the bow of the ship. But they do 10% less damage and 20% slower reload. But that's negligible since you have 6 of them. By the time you rotate through all 6 of your long guns on the front, you have about maybe a second and a half before the first one you fired is fully reloaded again. So that's negligible on the front. Now let's take a look at everything else. The weapons we are using, we have the Nash car on the front. So we've got 6 of these, basically 6 shots with this. 4470 is the damage that it has with the furniture that we have. You've got ghastly mending. This comes in. This is where this build excels with soloing the level 16 Vikram and with soloing anything. 5% damage dealt with this weapon restores. You get, well, damage dealt by this weapon restores 5% of the damage dealt as health. When you hit a weak point, the repair amount is multiplied by 700%. So you're looking at like 35% of the damage you do as health. When you hit a weak point, your health chunks up. I'm talking like 10% of your health just back from one shot if you're hitting a weak point. Then it's fire based, so 20% fire, 10% piercing. So you're building up fire and you're building up piercing. And then the rest of the way around, we have the Divine Thunder. That's size and back. 4576 is a damage output there. Hits on the target weak point have a 35% chance to summon a devastating lightning strike that deals 3,000 damage. You've got electric 2, piercing 2. That's 20% to each one of those. And then we are using the Crouching Tiger as the auxiliary, and the reason we're using that is because you taunt. So whenever they have taunt on them, they do less damage to you. So taunt is helpful in survivability. The less damage they do to you, the more damage, basically the more damage you can do to them, because you're not having to worry about taking a bunch of damage. The armor we are using here is the Buccaneer's Oath for that blood and gold. Anything that you kill will give you the blood and gold buff. 25% more damage for 30 seconds, 25% more armor for 30 seconds. It's got good base armor. It's got good perks aside from electric. Your piercing, burning, flooding, explosive are good. And then furniture. We got Tooling's Guidance for the 30% more weak point damage for 8 seconds after hitting a weak point. That can jump you up pretty good on your damage. Increase damage to weak points from the front weapons by 12%. Reload time on front weapons improved by 7%. Then we've got Long Gun Works, 19% more secondary damage from long guns, so that's going to be 19% more piercing, lightning, and fire damage with all of your main weapons. Then we get into Devil's Concoction, 15% more secondary burning damage, 15% more range from burning weapons. Now you've got Copper Fastening Station, 15% more electric damage, 15% more electric range. High Velocity Kegs, 15% more piercing damage, 15% more piercing range. So that's 30% more damage to all of your guns around, and 16% more range to all of your guns around. Everything is piercing, and everything is electric or fire. So these three things give you 30% more damage and 16% more range to all of your long guns. Then you've got Cannonball Charging Station. It increases the Stormstruck status effect on targets after they've been punctured, and it increases the puncture charge rate. So that helps with your lightning and your puncture charge rates. Then you have Long Gun Works. 19% more secondary damage. I think I already said that one. But this thing puts out a lot of damage. Some people would argue, well, I want charge stores. Well, we've only got one charge stores, and bouncing it all over the place is weird. I'm just not for bouncing furniture all over the place. That's why I went with Cannonball Charging Station. If I were to put charge stores on here, Cannonball Charging Station is probably what I would replace with charge stores. And I probably will whenever we get another charge stores. But this is the way I like running it right now. I run charge stores on my Badar, since it's my main PvP ship. Now, if I were to change this to a PvP ship, I would only change one thing, and I would change the Buccaneer's Oath to the Black Prince for that 40% damage mitigation whenever you're below 33% health. That can mean getting off a few more shots and killing them before they kill you. Like I said, I have killed and soloed without dying the level 16 Vikram, the level 13 Vikram, the Wolf, the Sea Monster. It works great for doing convoys, even the new Christmas convoys. It works great on the Christmas boss. This would be great for fort busting as well. I think it would be good for PvP. If you can kill them quick before they get to you, work great. This is an amazing build. This is an amazing ship with these fire long guns now, because it increases your survivability more, because you can anywhere between 5% and 35% of damage goes to your health with every shot from the front guns. So I was fighting the level 16 Vikram, shooting the towers, hitting weak points, and I was just watching my health go up by like 10-15% with each weak point hit. It was great. I didn't have to use a shield generator. I didn't have to use a healing buoy. I just kept my health up by killing towers if I needed to, or by using a heal kit if I needed to, and a restoration if I needed to remove something and I wasn't inside a bubble. If I needed to remove the debuff. If I wasn't inside of a bubble and I got the debuff, I just restorationed it off. This is a great build. I hope everybody gives it a try. I love it. This is probably the way I'm going to run my Garuda for the rest of the season. I'll have more builds coming out soon with the new Nashgar long guns included in them. Variations of builds that I've done in the past. Some completely new builds I will have coming out that I think are going to be pretty devastating. Thanks for watching Dreadlight Gaming. Keep an eye out for more Skull and Bones videos coming soon. I will have those new videos with the Nashgar long guns and the high velocity kegs coming soon. Just need to get a few more guns. Hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Watch the video all the way through on other videos you watch of mine. I appreciate it. It helps the algorithm. And remember, never give up the ship.